Good morning. It's the 13th of August, and welcome to today's SME Growth Cohort session. Today, we're going to be talking about the tech playbook behind KFC and Pizza Hut, a growth blueprint for UK SMEs. They have got data that confirms that an increasing digital mix grows the top line and the bottom line. Either people prefer using these digital channels, or those digital channels are more effective at upselling customers. Your businesses might be a million miles away from selling burgers and pizzas, but I think there's some things in here that we shouldn't ignore. I think also people have their expectations set by what they do in their day-to-day lives. And I just think that changing digital mix is something that we need to pay attention to, because I think if we don't, we're likely to start losing out to our competitors who do have a more digitally enabled sales experience. Despite my constant talk of automation, buying from me is pretty manual. Historically, it's been pretty manual. So here's an example. I've got a product on my website. It's called an SME Growth Blueprint. It sells for 10K. There's a web page that describes it. But to buy it, you basically got to get in touch, send me a few emails, we'll work something out, and then I'll arrange a payment via invoice. Like, not very automated. My target, what I'm trying to do here to change my digital sales mix, is start with that LinkedIn ad, post, DM that I mentioned a moment ago, to take people through to my free tech blind spot offer. There they spend a minute or two filling out a form online. As soon as they submit that, they'll receive an email to set their expectations around what they're going to get, when they're going to get it, and maybe I'll drop something else in there as well. Then I'm going to personally record a video, creating some analysis for them. But this part's asynchronous, because obviously I've got to get the info, have a think about it, and record the video. Now, that's better for me than doing something live straight away. It's more scalable for me because I can do it at my own time. I don't have to schedule a meeting to do it. But from the client's perspective, it feels high touch and it's more valuable than me sending them the PDF. So once that's done, I'll email that video audit to them. And in that email, there'll be a single call to action, which is then to book a consultation in my calendar. And in that consultation, what we would do is we'd have a more in-depth discovery than what I could have got from the blind spot details alone. We'll talk about the vision of what we could do together. We'll talk next steps. And then I'd send a proposal for an signature, not an e-cigarette, and include multiple payment options in there so they could pay online rather than the current, which is they get an invoice and make a bank transfer. So that's what I'm planning to do to make the sales experience for my product feel more digitalized and self-service. At the moment, it's very clunky. You've got to be quite determined to get through it. Yeah, I think it's worth you guys thinking about any changes you can make in that regard as well. If at the moment it's very, very manual process, just be aware that people's expectations are likely to be changing and they'll appreciate a more digital sales and service approach. Across the organization, AI is supercharging our marketing. Over 200 million AI-generated communications have been sent this year, delivering up to 5x incrementality compared to traditional approaches. This is not just marketing evolution, it's revolution, and we're only getting started. So the difference between a traditional marketing is they were tailoring it to the person they were communicating with. The point about the digital mix is also super important. We've spoken about the value of enriching your customer data, getting to know preferences, etc. As Yum are confirming, the more digital interactions you have with customers, the better able you are to learn about them and the better able you are to engage them through targeted communications. So the more you digitalize your sales mix and those touch points, the more opportunities you have to learn about your customers so that you can tailor your messaging so that they are more engaged, and then it's easier to sell to them. that's a great example of being data driven. Like usually we think of that being data driven as looking at your internal data, maybe looking at for, I don't know, like sales forecasts, stock forecasting, capacity planning, etc. But here we're taking external data at what people are saying about us, and then using that to coach internally, but not just coach. An AI coach is using that data and making recommendations. I think that's great. So just a thing for you guys to think about is your businesses. What data gets created by staff, customers, or systems that could be fed into an AI coach whose job is to continuously optimize some aspect of your team's performance. We've told the efficiency story time and time again, so I'm going to ignore that. Not interested in that today. Different angle. Going to focus on this bit. We're seeing lower turnover in restaurants. We're not talking money, we're talking people. So the AI tech is making that job presumably like less difficult, less stressful, so that staff are not leaving. That's pretty big. We often talk about the anxiety around AI job displacement, but it's nice to see like the opposite. People who actually are not leaving a job because AI has been able to take away the parts of it that stressed them out to the extent that they wanted to leave.